Hey, it's Irreverent Aegis here, and in this video I'm going to show you how to tank the final secret boss on hard mode in Veteran Black Drake Villa. His name is Sentinel Aksalaz, and you unlock him by doing all of the 3 previous secret bosses in the dungeon, and you unlock hard mode by doing all of the hard modes for the non-secret bosses in the dungeon. So, in other words, after you beat Pyroturge and Kratos on hard mode, you automatically unlock the hard mode for Sentinel Aksalaz, provided you've done all of the other side bosses in the dungeon. This is one of the only bosses in 4-man content where I would absolutely recommend that you bring a healer, mostly because of the ridiculously powerful dot that he puts on you as the tank. You're about to see that in slow motion. The dot from the attack lasts 9 seconds. It's really difficult to roll dodge this consistently, as the attack happens very fast, and also it's not easy to time if you're waiting for him to do it between other attacks. Not only that, but you'll have other responsibilities as the tank, such as taunting the mini-boss that comes out, and turning it away from the group so that way with Mind Blast it doesn't hit everybody. Speaking of the minis, they do come out at 85%, 60%, and 35% of the total boss's health. They are simply the 3 secret bosses that you need to do in order to unlock this boss in the first place. Your group should save its ultimates specifically for the minis. That will help you out tremendously as the tank, as the longer the minis stay up, the more resources they're going to drain from you, as you need to not only block them and maintain aggro, but you'll also be taking a lot more damage and will need to be applying a lot of self-heals. For this mechanic, all you need to do is get to the outside before the circle explodes, and don't get hit inside by any of the tornadoes, as it'll freeze you. Then Aksalaz will walk up and one-shot you when you're frozen, because you're the tank and probably have aggro. If anybody else gets hit by it, it does not mean they're instantly going to die, it just means they're going to be frozen for a few seconds. The boss will summon frost scamps periodically throughout the fight. They can become a big nuisance and eat away at people's health, so they should be killed quickly. Another mechanic we're seeing right now is when he puts his axe into the ground, and AoEs go everywhere. The group simply needs to keep moving to avoid those, or they'll die. He'll also summon meteors, as we just saw, up to 4 of them, depending on where you are in the fight, and it's very important that nobody stacks during the mechanic, and that they block. The heavy attack that I just dodged is another really strong attack from the boss that does a lot of damage. I'm an Argonian tank in this fight, so my resistances aren't even close to max, so I have to roll dodge that, or else I would pretty much be dead, especially if I have that really big dot on me. Here at 60%, the second mini comes up and instantly kills a member of our group, but have no fear, for I am running the build Jesus Aegis, and before I can finish this sentence, I'll have him res. If you want to check out that build, it is amazing, so check out that Jesus Aegis build. As we finish off this mini, I want to make a note about survivability as the tank. One thing I really like about this hard mode is that you really need to have good communication between the tank and the healer, and it's a very tank and healer heavy boss, which is a big change from a lot of other dungeons which are very DPS intensive. Here, not having a good healer and a good tank is going to be your limiting factor, especially considering you only have 6 attempts to beat this boss before he goes away. So, regarding survivability, you will be hit by this dot like I just got hit by right there. Whenever you get hit by the dot, call out to your healer that you need an orb, and then you're going to play a really fun game, follow the big yellow orb, and that's going to keep you alive for the most part. Here comes another Jesus Aegis res. That was amazing. But, back to survivability. As far as the skills on your bar, you're going to want to make sure you keep up Major Resolve the entire time, have a damage shield if possible, if it's cheap like it is on a Templar, and make sure you have at least 1, if not 2, hots on your bar to keep yourself alive, because sometimes that orb is not enough. You may have noticed in this fight that I'm wearing Earth Gore to help with the healing. However, you may want to go with Stonekeeper or something for sustain as well. With the recent changes to heavy armor, roll dodging costs a lot more, so you'll find yourself running out of stamina, especially since perma-blocking is actually a very good strategy in this fight for a lot of it, because even this guy's light attacks hurt quite a bit. Something else very helpful for sustain is to run 3 infused pieces of jewelry with potion cooldown enchants. It's really nice because this tank that I'm running right now is an Argonian, so I get the extra resource recovery every time I pop one of my tri-stat potions. That makes it a lot easier to sustain for this fight for myself and this build. Now it's 35%, and we're going to get our final mini. It's very important, like I mentioned before, that we coordinate our ultimates to take down this mini as quickly as possible. This one is arguably the most dangerous, as he does a huge attack that attacks everybody, no matter what they're doing, and it hurts quite a bit. So getting him down quickly so he doesn't go into that mechanic very often, and also having the healer or somebody else pop a barrier may be helpful as well to survive that, so you don't need to block through it the whole time. After the final mini goes down, the arena changes, and you will no longer be able to stand on the outside of the arena. Then, as you progress a little further, the amount of space that you have to stand will decrease even further, so we're about to see that happen. Now, there's only one other attack that I haven't really mentioned anything about, and that's about to happen here. The boss will swipe at you, and he will send 3 AoEs past your body. There it is right there. He does that attack periodically throughout the fight, and if you're standing close to him, it doesn't really hit you with anything, but if you're standing further away, it actually will apply that 9-second dot. It can go through your group, so it is important that you face this boss away from your group, so that way nobody else gets hit with the dot. You can see now the arena has gotten very small. The most dangerous thing about this is the meteor phase. Sometimes it's hard for people not to overlap, as we're seeing right now. You see I suck a life, got too close, and then ended up dying. But that's okay, because I'm Jesus Aegis, and he's pretty much up instantly. So, it should be a pretty easy execute from here, as long as everybody stays alive. Nothing else crazy happens. This is as crazy as it gets, and honestly I think this phase is easier than some of the mini phases. So with that, that is how you tank this hard mode. Enjoy your 3 extra chests for your loot. If you like this video, please subscribe to my channel and leave a comment.